began work on Mike's Music identity by investigating existing storefronts. Not surprisingly, many of them featured various renderings of guitars, keyboards, treble clefs, musical notes, musical staffs, all fairly expected and some downright cliche. So I decided to dig a bit deeper into the iconography of music by exploring musical notation. Two symbols in particular caught my attention for obvious reasons: their resemblance to the letter M for Mike's Music. The mordent, a close relative to the trill, where you play a note, the note above it, and return to the original note, and the italic M used as an abbreviation for mezzo. Mezzo being a term that's used with some frequency: mezzo piano, mezzo forte, mezzo soprano, and so on. The mordent I found to be visually too rigid and angular to represent a business like Mike's that prides itself on its highly personalized surface. That is, it lacked the warm, fuzzy aspect of the business. So I gravitated toward the softer italic M and began to experiment with different ways of using it as a visually interesting graphic mark that functions not only as a reference to musical notation, but also as a monogram to help convey the personal nature of the business. So, after several iterations of the M by itself, it occurred to me that by putting the letter form in a white circle, it represents the dreams of just about every aspiring musician, that of being in the spotlight. Now, having developed the circular mark, it became evident that it needed to be accompanied by a typeface that would equally complement and contrast. To complement, I looked for a font with a perfectly circular O to match the mark itself. To contrast, I looked for a font with a strong, bold, and somewhat angular face to differ with the softer look of the mark. Futura Bold, a classic modern sans serif, fit the bill perfectly. The resulting combination of lettermark and typography, known as the signature, conveys ideas of musicality and stability. The mural on the south side of the building has become a Fond du Lac landmark, and on any given day thousands of visual impressions are made to the occupants of all the vehicles that pass by the store. So I believe the appearance of the storefront to be the primary medium for your identity. A look at the building itself guides us in the application of the new identity. As a single-story building that runs deeply into the property, it can be described as a very horizontal construction. So the application of the identity becomes equally horizontal. This gives the overall impression of a unified whole rather than elements haphazardly applied. Note how even the list of merchandise, which was formerly in a column on one pane of glass, has been separated into individual units and lined up horizontally across the bottom of the storefront windows. The sign on top of the building detracts from the horizontality of the building, so I've eliminated it. The bright red color and oversized graphics on the awning more than make up for the lack of a separate sign. The new lettermark is rendered in large scale on the north side of the building. It's repeated in smaller scale on the awning, this time using a cropped and angled image to convey a more playful, less corporate feel. The new lettermark is repeated once more, centered and at eye level on the entrance door. I think you'll agree that this new identity for Mike's Music and Sound is an accurate reflection of the quality of the service and merchandise found there, and the energetic, friendly, and knowledgeable staff. Thanks for your time.